Hey everyone, I'm back. I just had to re-record because I completely forgot all my settings. But one thing I want you to do before we get started is remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Did you miss me? and Yeah, good to be back. Good to be talking with you guys. Thanks for the waiting for me, and thanks a lot. Let's do it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm back, and this is a really, really short episode. I don't even know how to call it an episode. I've changed my mind. I'm not gonna call this an episode. I'm just gonna call this an update, okay? Because in the recording I called it an episode, but this shit ain't an episode. This is an update, and just to let you know what's been going on with me and why my extended absence existed, why I was on an extended absence, and just to bring you up to speed on what's been going on with me. So, enjoy. Hey, what's going on? I'm back. I didn't forget about you guys. I'm still here. It's been about a month hiatus since my last recorded. I forgot how to do like all the shit that I normally do. I was trying to set this shit up. You see, I don't have my mic stand just because of everything. Yeah, I just wanted to sit down. I haven't prepared anything. I just wanted to record something to give you guys an update as to what's going on with me and why, I haven't, I've been MIA for about a month and whatnot. I kind of hinted at it before in the past few episodes, in the past few weeks and months, but I kind of didn't want to say anything until, everything was set. But now I can let you guys know I'm a father again. So I almost exactly 2 weeks. Yeah, almost exactly 2 weeks ago, my daughter was born. She came into this world. Her and her mom are doing great, happy, healthy, complete. Everything's all good. But yeah. So as you can imagine, for the weeks before the birth and before the delivery, I had a bunch of stuff to do, and now in the past couple weeks, just after my daughter came back home, it's just been kind of a madhouse. So finally, things are starting to settle down a bit. We're just starting, I think, from like yesterday, starting to get everything kind of decided and settled, and how we're gonna do our normal routine instead of just like reacting to shit, but the second kid's a lot easier than the first one. So we're everyone's kind of pitching in. My son's pitching in, helping out a lot. Like, so everything's really good. Let me take this hat off. Take this hat off. Yeah, my earphones shit. Yeah, so that's pretty much been what's been ruling my life for like the past several months. I've had some my other work and stuff going on, but literally for the past month, everything's just been on pause. But until the delivery, and walking on eggshells, making sure everything was fine. After that, then of course, just taking care of my daughter and helping out as much as possible these past few weeks. But we're starting to move into the next phase of that. If any of you all are parents, you know what I'm talking about, where you go from like, okay, the baby's here, to the routine of daily life, and making adjustments and things like that, and like the night routine and things like that. Since they're just staying up all night trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, we kind of have started like a night routine. We kind of expect what time she's gonna wake up, what time we got to do this, what time we got to do that. So the sleeping, the kind of consistent sleeping situation is kind of set. So I have some time to actually record tonight, and I was thinking about you guys because there is a shitload of content that I really, really, really want, or have been wanting to record with you guys, for you guys over the past several weeks. But not blaming anything, but just before my wife gave birth, I thought it was important to spend some quality time with her, as much as I could. Instead of just like, baby, go to bed, I gotta record. Like, my head wasn't in that space. There was like a few shows or a few things. Okay, I'll just hint at it. Like, I took some notes on it, like some shit, like Love in Japan. Love is Blind, sorry, Love is Blind Japan. I'm sure you've heard of the global Netflix phenomenon that is Love is Blind. I'm actually a fan of the show. It's a fucking chaos. I just love it. So, they came out with the Japanese version. I watched the whole thing. I was itching to record my review of that show so bad, but I actually took notes on it. It was that crucial. But again, the priority was kind of family. I really wasn't in the headspace to do that. There was something else, a major event related to Japan. A movie. Yeah, a few trailers. Like I think that I wanted to talk about, like Tokyo Vice. I want to talk about. I want to also talk about Bullet Train. I want to do some bonus content reviews of those two specifically, because they are very different, and they're very I think relevant things to understand. But specifically, man, I really want to talk about Love Is Blind and Love Is Blind Japan. But and of course for the algorithm and everything, it was perfect timing. I was explaining to my wife, like, if I would have dropped the video like right when the trailer came out, right when the show premiered, it would have gotten probably a spike up in views and everything. But this is my hobby and this is my real life that's happening. So I, I'm not gonna like force myself to do something just to have like a potential viral moment, like, I'm sure you guys can understand how, and, if you, especially if you're a long time listener, a long time or a semi long time viewer, you can kind of understand like my stance on the podcast and on the information that I put out. So, the main thing for me is to just be genuine to the content I put out and be genuine to the space, and not just try to like force something, because I generally do. I think about this shit quite a bit, and there's a lot I want to say about this shit, but I'm gonna hold that off for another day and another time. I literally pushed. I was like, "What the fuck am I gonna talk about?" Because those are the main topics I want to talk about. But and plus, I got some other shit from like the computer. That when was the last time I recorded? I don't even remember. Yeah, it was like the middle of fucking February, which yeah, about a month before my wife gave birth, or a couple of weeks before my wife gave birth. And but I can talk about giving birth and having a baby in Japan, which is sorry, I'm a little bit tired again, sleep deprivation kind of shit, but or just adjusting to a schedule. Uh, yeah, I can talk a little bit about giving birth in Japan. Well, I can't talk directly in the first person about giving birth in Japan, but the process of going through childbirth, or here in general terms, because there's a lot of stuff that, again, since I'm not Japanese, I just gotta kind of go with it, if you will, just like, okay. Um, and again, I haven't had any kids in America, so what I can say, sorry, my eyes are a little itchy. I don't know why. I'm getting kind of sleepy. Sorry. Sorry, you guys on video. Sorry. Again, I'm completely rusty, even more unprofessional than normal. But yeah, like what I can say is, as far as here in Japan, like the the delivery process in Japan is kind of funny, because like, my own concept of it is just from American TV shows and movies and stuff. Is like, of course, like you got the epidural, you in Japan, in America, or in the West, I'd say, and let me say in America, because that's what I know. It's kind of the standard way, and you're drugged up when you're giving birth, so you're not really feeling anything. I think my sister, she was like, yeah, it was just smooth. It was like woo hoo hoo, kind of the baby comes out. Japan's not really like that at all. Like, natural childbirth is the standard kind of way to give birth here in Japan. Like, so, yeah, that's one thing. If you're a husband, or if you're a woman and you're thinking about giving birth here in Japan, you do have to pay extra for like an epidural. But generally speaking, like they're going to expect a woman to give birth naturally. Now, my wife gave birth both times naturally. This time she was kind of like, I want the drugs. Like that shit hurt. But we went natural. Or she went natural. I just stood there. Basically. Generally speaking, another difference here is that I know, or my from my understanding, in America or in the West, the father's like watching. You're there, you're like seeing, like, you know, in the huddle, hut one, hut two, ready for, you know, ready for the football to fly out, ready for the baby to come. But in Japan, you're not actually watching the scene. They don't let you see what's happening. In Japan, you are near your wife's head. Like, so both times I was seated like next to my wife's head, which was I freaked out for like a second, and I'm not gonna lie, it was my second time. It was a lot faster than the first time, but I was still like, I was one moment where I'm just sitting there because you're just so helpless. And there was one moment, I can't remember if I talked about my first child's birth, but I was just sitting there like, I just wanted to freak out, but I just had to kind of sit there and calm myself down, and and after, it was a beautiful thing. I'm so happy I was there. Not every father in Japan is in the delivery room. I think from just my random account, I would say the majority of fathers are not in the delivery room here in Japan. They choose not to be. They just don't want to do it. I'm a Western person, so I wanted to be there, to support my wife and just to see the moment. I'm not gonna lie, my son, when he was born, I didn't cry just because I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was just kind of like, oh, I was like, this shit's crazy. It was just way too surreal for me. And then when my son finally popped out, it was just like, oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing. But this time, like actually watching my wife deliver, I kind of knew what to expect. It was a lot faster process. Like towards the end, when she was pushing, like, a couple tears kind of just came down, just watching her try so hard and deliver the best gift I think a woman can give to a man. Was quite moving. There was one second where she was like right eye to eye with me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, but I get, there's nothing, you're just helpless. This guy, like, they just give you, the only thing they do in Japan, they give you like a little hand fan, like, just to make you feel important, to like wave. My wife was like, get that shit out my face. I was like, fuck, I'm just helpless. I'm just useless right now. But I just had to sit there but just she said just being there was good. So that was good. Is there anything else I can tell you? Again, I'm not gonna tell you all the details about it, but just anything general, just what to expect. Yeah, from what I hear and what I see, you don't cut the umbilical cord in Japan. Like, I know I've heard, like, in America, I ain't trying to cut that shit. Like, you cut the umbilical cord. But in Japan, no, you don't do any of that stuff. Like, you don't see the nitty gritty at all here. Another big thing is, generally speaking, the recovery time here is a lot longer. So they take a lot better, like postnatal care. Is it postnatal care? Yeah, postnatal. It'll be postnatal care. Is a lot more. What's the word? Involved here in the hospital. Like, I think when my son was born, my wife was in the hospital for 5 days after birth, and this time she was in there for 4 days after birth. So, I think, like, in America, like the next day you just out the door. I've heard some people tell me the same day you just out the door, and they're just like, all right, cool, you got it from here, go ahead, if the baby's healthy. But here, yeah, they give you 4 or 5 days in the hospital to recover, to make sure the baby's fine, to assist with everything. So, like, my wife had like a staff of nurses there. Go ahead, take a break, and do this and do that. So, which was really really nice. And and it also gave me a chance. Like after I knew the baby was fine, then I was like, maybe I wanted to record something, but like I had to like get the house ready and do a whole bunch of like dad shit, like a lot of like deep cleaning and setting up stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a pretty busy time for me as well. But besides that, yeah, I mean, I'm happy. The second baby is a lot. You kind of know what to expect. So um I'm not like, go freaking out or anything like that. Ups and downs and things like that. But generally speaking, so far so good. Knock on wood, everything is really really smooth. We're all really really happy. My daughter's doing great. My wife is doing great, and we're all just enjoying the process of expanding my family. My son's doing great as well too. So I'm really happy about that. Yeah, and that's kind of it for me, really, for tonight. I just wanted to explain why my absence for so long. And again, you heard me, if you remember, I've been kind of hinting at it for a while that for the next several months, my recording schedule will probably be quite irregular. Just because like family's gonna take precedent until like things are like definitively locked in as far as schedule wise and family wise. But now like everything. Okay. No, so that's it. Like I'll sneak in a recording whenever I have time or energy. Again, this is like 15 minutes and I'm already kind of exhausted. I'm like, I gotta take my ass to bed. I gotta pack all this shit up. So before, I gotta wake up in the middle of the night and do some stuff. So I mean, that's about it from me. Thanks again for your patience with me. Thanks again for the comments and the likes and a few people who stumbled across the podcast on YouTube land, and I got one comment I forgot to reply to as well. But yeah, that's just kind of it for me. So I'm gonna just leave it there. Congratulate me if you want to, or just throw me some good vibes in your mind. Some little Bobby Digital signals. Okay, and I will holla at you next time. Peace.